issues were not so crazy, or they were crazy enough that I'm not sure you can fix them in one day.
All right, well, folks, we know that you are eagerly anticipating the action, and we're going to give it to you. NRG versus Cloud9. It's live, and we're going to take you over to our casters, Puckett and Mr. X.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Here we go. This is map number 1. If you are just joining us here in Overwatch, we're going to play a best-of-3 series. This one going to be your first map as we head to Gibraltar, and it looks like it's going to be Cloud9 on the attack. For the defensive end, we have NRG setting up, and Milo, he had a Torbjorn out. He's going to put him away in favor of that Roadhog. It looks like they're going with the 4 tanks and Clockwork on the Soldier 76. So Dummy, he's got a lot of healing to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Dummy in this matchup. If they stick with this, obviously going to be the solo healer for the side of NRG. Now, Milo has been running Lucio pretty much the entire tournament. They make that change before coming in here to MLG Vegas, with Milo going to go over to the Lucio, and Numlock's going to go back to Reinhardt. But you see the positioning from NRG. Looks like they're going to play a little bit further back. Can't play too far up with that single support.
Cloud9, this is a team that we kind of expected to cruise to the semifinals. Instead, they fell to phase a little bit earlier, and I was talking to Short4, he said we just made too many mistakes. We got to avoid that going up against NRG. But this is a team that is very confident playing up against an opponent that they were able to wipe 2-0 last night. And Short4 right away is going to be looking for that hook on the Roadhog. But when you look at this Cloud9 lineup, who's the key player for you on their first push?
Well, look, when you have this set up from Cloud9, you're going to be looking at Short4 to see if he can land these hooks. Clockwork from up top just laying a lot of damage into Rib's shield, and he's going to have to back down. You see Kaikai's going to get over towards that server room, just trying to get an angle on the players of NRG. But NRG going to stack up on top of the payload, have these tanks to really just sustain through this.
Numlocked with that Reinhardt, the key player here, the Zarya right next to him. That's Seagull, their most famous player on this squad. He's also had some of their key plays throughout the weekend, but really keep your eyes on Clockwork. He's a guy who got a lot of flack last night, didn't have a whole lot of success on the Roadhog. Today, he's looked a lot better on the Soldier.
Yeah, and you see the teams are just going to switch sides. It's going to be Cloud9 actually getting to the high ground on the defensive side of things. It's going to force NRG back into the server room. It's going to be Rib pinning Numlock. It's going to be a big kill. It's going to be Short4 landing a hook. And now the things are starting to go in Cloud9's favor. You see they're going to be able to pick up 2 kills. It's going to be Milo taking out Rib there, so no Reinhardt in play for the side of C9. It's going to be a big Graviton Surge coming in from NRG, and the follow-up comes up from Seagull.
Yeah, he's going to get the nano boost as well, able to deal out that damage. Mendo had a really off match against FaZe. He said, I just made too many mistakes. He is going to be taken out for now. It looks like Cloud9 going to be pushed back. It's NRG with control. 5 players still up. Clockwork, he's going to stay on that Soldier 76. I was wondering, is he going to switch back to Lucio eventually? It looks like they're still comfortable keeping Dummy up as the sole healer on Ana.
Yeah, and they'll probably stick with this for the first point, and obviously if it goes past this, I think you'll see NRG change things up a little bit, but they will have an Earthshatter coming in this next fight. If you look, though, on the side of Cloud9, they are stocked up with ultimates. You expect them to just get down, try and use this Graviton Surge, and there goes Mendo. He's going to call it in and grab 3 players, and it's going to be Short4 with a whole hog. Rib picks up 2. There's 1 more to drop, and this is Cloud9's fight to lose, Chris. They are just making their way towards this first checkpoint.
On the first push, it was Rib who was able to pick up the initial kill with the spear on Numlock. This time around, he's able to pick up 2. Clockwork trying to stay alive and stall at that payload, but instead it is going to reach the gate. Our first checkpoint can be locked in by Cloud9 as they continue to surge forward, and they still have the Earthshatter on Rib. So in this next team fight, keep your eye on the Reinhardts. On the other side, NRG has Numlocked with 1 ready to blow as well.
Yeah, and NRG is going to change things up a little bit. It's going to be Enigma going over to the Tracer, and Milo is going to go back to that Lucio. So they're going to go with a 2-2-2 setup. Dummy's going to have the nano boost, and Numlock still has that Earthshatter, like you said. But, you know, we saw this yesterday from NRG where they went with Tracer and Soldier. It's going to be on Enigma to get to the backline and just draw the players from Cloud9 back to help these supports.
And honestly, if you watched the earlier match, it was Enigma on the Tracer that was kind of the key to victory on Dorado. But look out for Short4. Is he going to switch off to the McCree to deal with it? For now, it looks like Enigma doing so much damage from behind while the tanks are distracting. Enigma and Numlocked able to wipe Cloud9. They'll be coming off the attack, and Short4 so close to that ultimate, probably going to stay on the 0. No, at 97%, he switches over to the McCree.
Yeah, well, right there, I mean, Enigma gets behind enemy lines. Numlock, though, lands a big Earthshatter, connects with 3 players, and Enigma's able to clean it up. Now you just see the respect that Cloud9 has for Enigma on the Tracer. You're going to switch things up. Short4 4 is going to be running the McCree now, just trying to lay down some damage, but it's going to be some nice honor shots from Dummy, going to take Surefour out at range. It's going to be Kai able to take out Numlock, so the shield out of the equation for the side of Cloud9. They can push this payload a little bit further.
That kill on McCree is so big. You're going to see NRG still able to cause problems in the back lines. Enigma finally going to fall at the hands of Mendo. Cloud9 going to be pushing forward. Rolf with the nano boost ready to pop. But Kai, if you watch the last matchup, he was really the key to victory. He shut down all of the gravitons that came out of NRG basically throughout the entire series in their first meetup. This time around, he is going to be forced back momentarily, but now they're dropping the beat. Rolf is going to drop the nano. Here comes the push.
Yeah, and the graviton comes in from the side of it, NRG, but it's going to be Cloud9 able to sustain through it. It was a beautiful honor grenade plus the sound barrier able to keep everybody up through the follow-through. Surefour now on the Soldier 76, able to lay damage from afar. It's going to be Cloud9 taking this second point. You see Surefour pushing up a little bit further here. The players from NRG just getting off the side, don't want to be staggered off the spawn. That's 2 players down, though. It's going to be a big advantage from Cloud9. They're going to make a lot of headway with this payload.
And that kill from Surefour, you know, it looks like a small detail because Clockwork was jumping off anyway, but he's charging up his ultimate, so Tac Visor going to be ready any moment. Surefour going to be laying down that damage on the shield, just trying to crack Numlock. In comes Enigma, switching back over to the Diva. He's going to try and use this defense matrix to keep his team up as they get to the payload. Cloud9 waiting on these ults. Then they'll make the push. The Graviton ready to blow for Mendo.
And you're trying to figure out a way that you can get Surefour with the Tac Visor into that high ground area. It's going to be Mendo, though, pushing up, waiting for the perfect time to land this Graviton Surge. He knows there's a player for the side of NRG in the high ground themselves, and Kai getting close to that Diva ultimate as well. So we'll see if he just tries to launch that in when you see Mendo use that Graviton, but it seems like Cloud9 going to stall a little bit, try and get the high ground, and then combo these ults.
And you see the Diva up top. It's going to be Enigma hanging out. He's not going to get caught in the Graviton. Numlock, the Reinhardt, going to be charging forward. Diva gets nothing. So Cloud9, they're still up, but really not getting the kills they were expecting. Only Numlock dropped so far here for NRG. They continue to hold. Clockwork staying alive with that Soldier 76, just firing from above. Enigma is going to be distracting. Now the counter Graviton.
Oh, and that is a big Graviton Surge from Seagull. He connects with all 6 members of Cloud9, but the sound barrier comes in, and Cloud9 now going on the offensive, and Rib has that Earth Shatter. Surefour getting up top. This could be bad for NRG.
Clockwork coming out of the gates is going to be met by Surefour. The Helix Rocket's going to be dropping him down, half health. Meanwhile, the push continues. You got Rib leading the way, Kai right next to him. Nothing that NRG is throwing at him is landing on the players. Everyone fully healed up. Clockwork desperately trying to lay down the long-range projectiles, but just simply can't land the Helix Rocket once again. Kai up top with that Diva, causing so many problems as a Cloud9 player.
Yeah, and it's going to be Surefour picking up Milo in the back, so that's going to be the Lucio dead for NRG. A fantastic flame strike there coming in from Rib, taking out Numlock. This is where Cloud9 needs to end the game. You have Surefour up top, laying down damage. Enigma's going to fall, and players coming up the spawn for NRG. You see Rib with a big Earth Shatter in the spawn door. It's going to be Cloud9 completing the map with 1:05 left in the time bank.
And it wasn't flashy, Matt. It wasn't flashy. It was just a calm, cool, collected push here from Cloud9, and that's what Surefour talked about. He said, you know, we just need to calm down and play our game. They didn't make any huge mistakes that round, and it paid off on the attack, but now they're going to have to defend the push from NRG.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too great of a defensive setup from the side of NRG. I mean, they got one really good hold in the hangar phase when Enigma switched over to the Tracer, and then they got one hold towards the end. But once Cloud9 kind of got their bearings, you saw Surefour really kind of find himself on the Soldier 76. That's when Cloud9 kept things rolling.
Now, what I'm looking forward to is to see what Clockwork is going to pull out. We saw him on the Soldier 76 for NRG quite a bit on the defensive end, but in their earlier matchup, he wasn't afraid to pull out the Pharah on the attack on King's Row. It looks like currently, if they're going to stick with this comp, he is going to have a pocket Mercy with Milo, and he is going to stay on the Pharah as I say that. Milo pulls back out the Lucio, but Seagull, he could have a treat for us here.
Yeah, so it looks like at least here at the beginning, you know, NRG with a lot of time to change their comp up. You have Seagull on the Genji, and you have Clockwork on the Pharah. So we'll talk a little bit about that, you know, once we get closer towards that coming into play and locking itself in. But on the side of Cloud9, you're going to have the Symmetra and the Torbjorn.
It's the Hollywood strat, man.
This is what they did to NRG the other day on Hollywood. They used Adam on this Symmetra, and they got the, you know, the shield barrier, and then they were able to combo that with the armor that Torbjorn gives you from building up the scrap, and they just build this HP pool so large that it's so difficult to just take them out.
NRG looking for an answer against Cloud9. Gibraltar, of course, going to be a little bit more open than Hollywood was when it comes to pushing forward, but really the key for Cloud9 in their match yesterday was when they were able to get those shields down. They had the armor coming out like crazy from Mendo, and they just had so much HP. It was almost impossible for NRG to take out multiple players on their pushes.
But I do like this setup that NRG is going with. It's going to be a pretty aggressive dive comp because you're going to have the Genji with the Pharah Mercy, combo that with Winston as well. We'll see how they try to attack here. It's going to be Numlocked getting up top, just going to try and rain down some fire with this Pharah. And it's going to be a lot of pressure on Rolf and Surefour from the side of Cloud9 to be able to pick him up.
Yeah, Rolf is going to try and help out with the kills on Pharah, but he's also their only healer outside of 76. So keep your eyes on Rolf. If he goes down as the healer for Cloud9, NRG should be able to steamroll.
Well, and with the solo healer and the dive comp on the side of NRG, this is actually probably pretty good for them, because if they can get to the back line and put a lot of pressure on Rolf and take him out, obviously, like you were just saying, it's the only healer up for this Cloud9 squad. And you see the Ana grenade coming in from the side of NRG. Seagull just trying to poke in the front, but it's going to be Numlock getting a little bit too deep there, taken out by Surefour.
Clockwork unable to land those rockets, and as I look at the full map here, Matt, it looks like everyone's just backing up in the server room. I was watching Mendo to see what he was going to be doing. He is going to be putting up his turret. Rib is just going to be protecting that with the Reinhardt. They're going for the slow play here. NRG slowly moving this payload up, and now here comes the push from the top. It's Seagull on the Genji. You got the Winston right next to him to protect from any flanks, and now Seagull targeting that turret will take it down. Meanwhile, in the back line, it looks like Enigma causing problems with the Diva in a one-on-one versus Kai. Kai ate so many of Enigma's gravitons yesterday. Enigma looking for a little bit of a revenge, but here comes the nano boost, keeps Kai up. Cloud9 has all players alive, those shields are out, and so is the armor.
And that is big. Seagull trying to get to that high ground, just push Surefour down. You see it's going to be the Diva bomb coming in from Kai. Not going to get anything with it, but it's going to be Mendo picking up Seagull at the beginning of this. Surefour going to have to use that tack visor, push the side of NRG back. NRG in this next fight, though, they will have that rocket barrage. They also will have the resurrection from Mercy, so you expect them to get a little bit more aggressive.
And Clockwork was just picked, so a big kill coming in from Surefour. Clockwork had about 10 health forever and finally was finished off, so no push coming in quite yet. A minute 51 to get to this first checkpoint. NRG stalled out for now, but they're looking for one big push, and there are the shields. Everyone on Cloud9 given that bonus 75 HP.
Yeah, so this is where, if you are NRG, you need to make a conscious decision. You need to get rid of that shield barrier right away, because you're not going to be able to just cut down these tanks with that up. And also, you do have Mendo with that Molten Core ability available from Torbjorn. Look to see when he pops that. If the guys from NRG get a little bit too deep, expected to come out, it's going to be Mendo with one. Rolf taking out Clockwork, so that's going to stop the push here from NRG. They're going to have to back down.
And how stubborn are they going to be with Clockwork on that Pharah? He's been shut down by Surefour. Now the Ana is able to pick him from the sky. A fully loaded Cloud9 had a full hold, on Hollywood. Will they do it again here on Gibraltar? 1 minute left.
And you do have the resurrection still, so I think you are going to stay on to the Pharah because you're just trying to get Surefour down from above here. And it's going to be the push coming in. Numlocked and Seagull on the payload. Seagull's going to switch things up off of the Genji over towards Zarya, just trying to put a little bit of pressure, but you see the Symmetra shield and the Reinhardt shield protecting the Torbjorn turret, and now it's going to be Kai getting nano boosted, getting a very aggressive. They get Seagull low. Numlocked uses his primal rage, not going to be able to get anything for it, just pushing Kai back, but Rib there in support. Numlocked in a bad spot here.
Everyone getting tickled to death here by Kai's Diva. He slowly worked down Seagull. Now it's the Winston who has to run away. Numlocked is going to survive, but now you have one last attempt for NRG. Are they going to get stopped here? The barrage has not come down. Nano Boost still available for Dummy, and they're banking on a huge res from Milo.
Well, there's been no place to use this rocket barrage. I mean, Clockwork has not been able to get positioned. Surefour's done an excellent job up top, just laying down fire, and he's going to get pushed down by Numlock. Now you're going to see the tack visor coming out from Surefour, just trying to locate players, and Milo cannot drop here. He's going to take out Dummy. Clockwork getting very aggressive as well. Surefour's going to win that one too.
And Milo's going for the res. He is going to get 2 up, but that is 4 kills, make it 5 now in the feed for Cloud9. We're into overtime. Cloud9 looking for the full hold, but man, you look at NRG's faces on the stage, Matt, they just had no answer to this setup. The Symmetra, the Torbjorn, and Surefour hanging out on that soldier. They couldn't stop it.
Well, they did a fantastic job just keeping Clockwork at bay up top. He was trying to lay down those rockets. He They stuck on that a little bit too long. They just keep getting staggered, not able to get a good push together.
The analyst desk talked about it a little bit yesterday, that there's just no clear caller on this NRG team. You know, it looked like there were several points during this that they just needed to switch things up. It wasn't working. You had to change the strategy. Instead, they just slowly went at it time and time again. They never really were able to finish off any kills after Seagull dropped those gravitons. So great job by Cloud9. They played it safe, and they let NRG just play right into their hands.
Well, it's just a little bit of a risky play from the side of NRG. It's a lot of like what we saw in Hollywood yesterday. So on Hollywood, they stuck with the Hanzo on Seagull, and they played around getting the Graviton plus the Dragon Strike combination. They never worked out. In this one, you're just playing around the Resurrection, the Rocket Barrage, and it never works out towards the end. I mean, you're giving yourself just a limited opportunity to make a play happen, and that is how Cloud9 is able to get a full hold there on defense here against NRG to go up 1-0 in the series.
And there you see the frustration from NRG. Their coach Sam and behind him talking about the next match. Smiles are coming out, but I got bad news for NRG. They said they don't like playing Nepal. Well, Nepal is going to be game number 2. You only need 2 wins here for Cloud9 to move on to the semifinals. Will they be able to make it forward? Rolf all smiles sitting next to Adam, who has played a fantastic Symmetra so far throughout this tournament. Love seeing her used after the patch.
You got a beautiful shot of the top of Golden Boy's head there as well. Everybody love to see the little bald spot on top of Golden Boy's head every once in a while.
It looks good.
Shout out to the production showing us that beautiful bald man.
Absolutely. Cloud9, 1 game away. NRG, they're going to have to battle back now as we go into our next game. It'll be loading up on Nepal. Now, after watching just kind of a bit of a massacre, at least on Sanctum, what can NRG do differently this time against Cloud9? Sure, for he can run the McCree. He's most likely, though, going to be on the Roadhog.
So, look, I liked what NRG was attempting to do when they were trying to put a lot of pressure on. It's not great against that Torbjorn Symmetra combination, but you had Seagull start off on the Genji. Potentially, you have Clockwork run the Pharah. I don't think you probably combine those here on Nepal. I probably think you kind of go with a 76 or a McCree. And if you have Seagull run the Genji, I think they can get really aggressive on the side of Cloud9 and push them back. Cloud9 seems to kind of have found their groove a little bit when Surefour is on the Roadhog and Mendo getting really comfortable running that Zarya. I think if you can force them off of it, granted, you say maybe that kind of puts Cloud9 back in their comfort zone. I feel like it may give NRG their best chance to win, though. I feel like that's where NRG can really excel.
And there are the 2 guys we don't talk about nearly enough. Kai sitting next to Rib with the goatee. These are the unsung heroes of the team. Kai versus Enigma just simply shut him down yesterday. So far today, he was winning the Diva battles. Rib, just always that consistent Reinhardt for the squad. NRG, with a huge task in front of them. They're going to have to win the control battle, and it looks like they'll be talking some last-minute strats. Seagull chiming in as Sam, their coach, is breaking it down.
Well, you're probably trying to figure out who is going to end up ultimately running what, because we've seen Enigma do a nice job on the Tracer. You've seen Clockwork in the DPS role do very nice things, but if you want to get a little bit more aggressive, you're going to have Seagull run the Genji, which means you're going to lose his Zarya play. Somebody else is going to have to fill that role.
We're definitely going to see Dummy on the Ana. That is the one thing that we can't expect here coming in from NRG. On the other side, Cloud9, I wouldn't expect any changes compared to the way they played yesterday. It worked so well. They should be able to do it once again. Rolf, he's one of my favorite players to watch in this tournament. As an Ana player, he has been amazing with his sleep darts, always keeping his tanks up as well. You look at Cloud9, how many times did they die in that last one?
I mean, Cloud9, during that one, I mean, Adam goes and runs the Symmetra off of the Lucio, and you're kind of worried, like, oh, you know, the solo healer and whatnot, but everybody just stays alive pretty much through every fight there for the side of C9. And a little bit, I know what ZP was talking about earlier, I would love to see if they potentially could give Mendo the McCree, and that opens up Surefour to run something like the Tracer. I would love to see if Cloud9 came out and really was the aggressors, but it's this is exactly kind of what I was talking about. Oh, so even harder than I was talking about. So right now, on the side of NRG, you're going to have potentially the Genji plus Tracer and Clockwork on the McCree. So a lot of pressure going to be coming from NRG. You combine that with Dummy switching off of the Ana, going over to his Zenyatta, going to be able to give them that extra damage with the Discord Orbs. And you're going to see if NRG can just cut down these players from Cloud9 fast.
Matt, I could be dead wrong. I said Dummy is definitely running that.
Yeah, you said that was the only lock.
So far, he is on the Zenyatta, and we do have Seagull on that Genji. The Genji causing problems when FaZe played against Cloud9 earlier in the day. Will they stay on it? 20 seconds before these doors open as the battle will be in the middle right away. Keep your eye on the flankers. Clockwork gonna have to keep up with Surefour, as they will be going in a McCree battle. Meanwhile, Surefour is just going to be overwhelmed with Seagull and Enigma in the backline.
Yeah, and I think at least just looking at these comps, I feel like NRG is going to give the side of C9 a little bit of trouble here at the beginning, and you're going to have to see some adjustments from the side of Cloud9.
The Winston for Numlocked, known Reinhardt on the map. They're going with the dive comp on the control point, and you're going to see Cloud9 pushing from the left. They're not going to run up the mid stairs. Instead, they're just going to let Rib lead the way as Surefour picks away at his opponents with the Peacemaker.
And it's going to be crucial for NRG to take care of these players fast, because the longer these fights go, obviously with the more tanks, the larger the hero pool, it's going to be very difficult towards the end of these fights for NRG to come out on top.
Got a little scary there for Dummy, dropped to 50 HP, but he's going to be healed up by Milo, and now you're going to see Surefour able to pick up the Genji kill, so down goes the Ninja for NRG, down goes your Tracer, just kill them all, Surefour. Numlock taken out as he hunts down the Lucio.
Yeah, I mean, that is a fairly easy way to get rid of flankers. I mean, when you have a player just as dominant as Surefour on McCree with just that pinpoint accuracy, I mean, he takes out Seagull at the beginning, a nice flashbang onto Enigma, one quick headshot, and then just plows through the last player there. Fantastic play by Surefour.
Absolutely, and this isn't console, baby. This is PC. No auto aim for Surefour, but he sure makes it look that way. Enigma on the Tracer is going to try and take him down. Surefour already earning himself a Deadeye Rolf with the Nano Boost ready to go. On the other side for NRG, the closest is going to be a Transcendence. Surefour going to be taken down. It is Seagull reflecting it all back at him, and you're going to see NRG on the point for the first time. Cloud9 already at 33% as they continue to score. The Pulse Bomb could be huge here, but instead he's met with a hammer. Enigma takes the seat.
Yeah, and it was actually NRG able to get the point here towards the end. It's going to be Seagull using the Dragon Blade, but the kill feed is all Kai right now. Seagull just trying to stay alive here, going up high, trying to make himself as hard of a target to hit as possible. And Surefour actually switches things up. He goes over from McCree to Tracer now, so he's going to put a lot of pressure on the side of NRG, trying to fight back.
Cloud9, after giving up 21%, takes it right back. They have control. Kai, their star of that last fight, still on fire. Keep your eyes on Rib, though. He's got the Earth Shatter for this next push. The Tracer battle going down, even with support. Dummy is going to be eliminated as Surefour picks up the first kill. Your healer is out. Things are going to be tough here for NRG.
Well, even more important than the healing, it's the Discord Orb that's out of the equation, because now without that Discord Orb, you're not going to be able to get those flankers with Winston behind enemy lines and cut down these tanks pretty quick. So they're going to have to wait for Dummy to get back up into this next fight.
And Kai was chasing back Clockwork, so the McCree just going to be neutralized by the Diva for Cloud9. NRG still looking for answers. Surefour in the fight versus Enigma. One-on-one Tracer battle once again, but here comes Numlocked on the Winston. Surefour's going to try and get out. Instead, he is going to be cut down. The Discord going to land. Kai answering back with the Diva Bomb, but there's the McCree waiting at the bottom of the stairs. Huge kills coming in for Clockwork. Now they're picking away at Rib. Will they be able to shut down the Reinhardt? The Graviton coming through, though, as it's Cloud9 answering back. 3 up for each team. The battle will continue.
Yeah, and Mendo with the Graviton Surge picks up 4, perfectly timed. It's just Mendo and Rib on the point there with Adam. They're able to sustain through that, and it's going to be Cloud9 taking the first point here on Nepal.
Enigma with the Tracer couldn't get back in time. You saw a Zenyatta Transcendence just being used as Dummy tried to get back to the point, but the McCree start for Cloud9 really started this game off in their favor. Surefour picking up 4 of the 6 kills, forcing everyone back. He switched over to the Tracer, and Enigma just didn't seem to have an answer for the one-on-one battles.
Well, I did like what you saw from Clockwork on the McCree there towards the end of that game. He started to come alive, but just, not enough time for NRG to get onto the point and make a play. It was the Graviton Surge from Mendo there to put things away for C9 on our first point. And see Surefour here, he's going to be running the Soldier 76. On the side of NRG, you see things change up a little bit. They're going to go with that 3 tank, and it looks like they're going to have 3 supports here at the beginning. So interesting strat here from NRG.
If you're watching Overwatch for the first time here in Control Point, it's going to be the first to 3 rounds in game number 2. So far, Cloud9 winning by 1. And we're going to see Surefour from the right side. Meanwhile, all of his teammates up top. Reinhardt is going to be dropped, but for how long? They're unable to finish. Numlock, great heals coming in the back line from Dummy. Meanwhile, you're going to see the push continue for C9. And actually, as I say that, Matt, they're going to be forced back. What did Enigma just do?
Yeah, well, I mean, you saw just the push coming in from NRG, able to push Cloud9 all the way back on top of the bridge. They need to get Surefour out of this top position, though. He's actually able to take out Milo. You saw Clockwork start off on the Lucio, just give his team a little bit extra speed and then go back and switch over towards the 76. It's going to be 2 kills, though, coming in for Cloud9, but Surefour in this power position up top, laying down a lot of fire at 76. NRG needs to get him off this position because he is just going to cause them a lot of problems.
Absolutely. Surefour so close to that tack visor. Rolf could nano boost him at any moment, and NRG already forced back. This front door can be locked down if you get your Reinhardt up with Kai right next to him. They did it earlier in their series on the main stage. Cloud9 looking to do it once again. 19% and counting, but it's still very early here in the second heat.
We'll see, you're going to see Milo go over to the Lucio now, so you're going to lose the Zenyatta on the side of NRG. You do have the nano boost with the Graviton Surge, and I think you're going to have to see it come in from NRG. You're going to see the ultimates used here, but Rolf in a perfect position has the nano boost, going to save it because you pick up that first kill, so you don't need it in this fight. So a very smart play there from Cloud9 to conserve these ultimates.
Kai going to survive as well as he pushes everyone through the front door, and they're running all the way back into spawn. Seagull has the Graviton though, and that's going to be the game-changing moment potentially for NRG in this next fight. They have to get past Rib though, and he has an Earth Shatter to counter. We'll see how this one is going to play out. The D.Va leading the charge here for NRG. It's Enigma on the left side. They're going to go straight for the point. Surefour from the top pillars, though, able to fire from above. Here comes the nano boost attack visor. Surefour, though, gets Enigma right in his face, wakes him up after the sleep dart lands. Big plays coming in from Rolf, and the sound barrier is going to keep C9 up. You see NRG just jumping to their doom. They know they only have one push left. C9 at 80%, and that last push did not work. You do have 3 ults to work with.
Yeah, all NRG invested into that one was their tack visor, and on the side of Cloud9 they used the tack visor and they used the nano boost. So NRG comes in with a big ultimate advantage this next fight, but still the clock is ticking. 93% and counting in favor of Cloud9.
Never assume that an ult advantage means NRG is going to win the fight versus Cloud9. We learned that yesterday. You're going to see Adam picked first though, so one healer down. Rolf going to be targeted next. Kai forced back, and he's going to be eliminated as you see both D.Va ults going to be dropped, and it looks like Mendo will fall for Cloud9. NRG has finally done it, but they let their opponents get all the way to 99%.
But they do hold on to the Graviton Surge and the Earth Shatter through this, and the side of NRG should have a sound barrier, halfway through this next fight, or, at the beginning of it. So they're actually in a pretty good spot to win this next team fight as well, because, it's Cloud9 just with that Mendo Graviton Surge. Nobody else really close to any ultimates.
Surefour looking for the first pick, laying down some fire on Enigma, who's going to keep the point. And here comes the Graviton. NRG going to catch Mendo, but Rib charges right through it. Enigma is going to be battling against a nano-boosted Reinhardt. Milo, though, as the Lucio, making sure that Cloud9 is not able to get the full hold. Enigma is going to keep stalling as well. NRG continues to score as Clockwork is just firing from a range, and he's going to have a nano boost here for this next fight. Kai going to be disrupted as you see the sound barrier coming down, and now Surefour is going to be hunted. It is Clockwork dealing out the damage.
Yeah, and Surefour, as soon as he sees the tack visor, tries to run, get around the corner, not fast enough. It's going to be NRG mounting a comeback here, 56 and counting. They do have the Earth Shatter for this next one, but Cloud9 still holding on to these ultimates. They only use a nano boost in that last one, but you see how fast Rolf is getting that back. They will have the tack visor plus the Graviton Surge with Kai's D.Va ultimate and Earth Shatter to combine. This is where Cloud9 really needs to make an impact. They need to win this fight if they use these ults.
Seagull is nowhere near his Graviton. Meanwhile, Mendo is going to use his. Here comes the D.Va bomb, but a huge block there from Numlocked. Going to keep NRG in this. They did lose Numlocked finally. 5 players still up. Dummy being targeted next by Surefour, and the battle is on the point. C9 trying to take it over right now, 82% to 99.
Yeah, and C9 actually has control of the point because they push Milo and Seagull into that down underpass, and it's going to be C9 able to take it here towards the end. Fantastic push there from Cloud9. They get on the point. Surefour keeps the players at top at bay, not able to lay down that crossfire.
It all kind of started with that Graviton, and C9, after a fantastic start, able to finish strong once again. But credit to NRG. They've had 2 good holds there for a bit. Unable to connect on the first Seagull Graviton, though, is where things started to go bad. They had to use more ults than they wanted to, and C9 was able to lock in our second round. And once again, it is Cloud9 one round away from taking game number 2, and this would eliminate NRG from the tournament.
Yeah, and here at the beginning of our next point, have a little bit of a pause, but we can talk about what we see in terms of comp. It looks like you potentially could see Surefour run over and use that Mei, because Mei being very good on these next points to be able to just block these players off with those walls. Surefour, we've seen him use the Mei in the past to great effect, but you also lose a lot of that firepower he's giving you on 76.
Clockwork, even though their backs are against the wall, not too stressed out yet. You saw a smile coming out talking to his teammates on the other side. It is all smiles. Mendo and Surefour, look out for the golf claps from these two. Mendo wanted me to know and make it known to the public. He did not come up with the golf clap. That is all Surefour's. He stole it and made it look better.
at least he's giving his teammate credit for it, right? But I think if you're NRG, with the way control maps are, you can just swing things in your favor with relative ease. I mean, you win 1 point, you get hot going into the next one, you get an ult advantage or 2, you win 1 big fight, you're able to just take it with 2 or 3 good holds. So I think NRG can definitely swing this back in their favor.
You think so?
I think it's possible.
You got to win 3 straight rounds here.
Well, we've seen some nice things out of NRG. I mean, these games are much closer than the game we saw yesterday. It's just, those 1 or 2 fights towards the end where, they use an ultimate or 2 and they're just not able to sustain through it and win it. That's where you're seeing the difference made, where Cloud9 takes advantage.
And as we're watching this next heat after the pause here, Matt, who is going to be the key player from NRG? Because we've watched Seagull playing that tank, the Zarya, a lot. He pulled out the Genji for a little bit, but they were unable to win that round. Who's your guy? Who's your guy here?
Well, look, I mean, as Seagull, as the captain, I think there's a lot of pressure that falls on him. I think he needs to come up big here. And, at the start of this one, it looks like you are going to see Seagull running the Mei. So we have seen Seagull's Mei in the past on maps like Dorado and Payload and whatnot. Seagull, a very good Mei player.
And he is going to lead the charge up top. Cloud9 choosing to go down low once again. And this battle is going to be kicking up in about 10 seconds. It's just pick damage as Surefour on that Mei, right clicking away. Ice wall gonna come up as soon as they get the tank, and it looks like it's just gonna miss, but this point will be controlled. A very narrow entrance, and Seagull is gonna come storming through. He's going after that Zarya, throws up a wall of his own. The point still not taken yet, and here comes the push, led by Rib here for Cloud9. On the other side, it looks like a hook is gonna land, and Enigma is gonna finish off Rib. So down goes their Reinhardt for C9. Advantage NRG. They should be able to wipe this here.
And you see just a beautiful Mei wall coming in from Seagull, and Surefour uses his, just gives the side of NRG a little bit of breathing room, and they're able to go around it. But when you saw Seagull call in that Mei wall, he was able to just block off 2 members from the side of Cloud9. Teammates plow through and they take them out. And it's going to be the ultimate coming in as well. It's going to be Seagull using that Blizzard, but Cloud9 still in this fight.
And they did take the point first, Matt, so they are scoring throughout all of this. Massive props to Rolf. He kept his tanks Kai and Mendo alive. He then nano boosted Mendo as Mendo put the bubble on Kai, saving him a second time. It was the tank play, even without the Reinhardt, that won that battle for C9. Surefour was such a pain in the side for NRG as well, going into his cube, making sure that they weren't able to finish him. He was flanking while his tanks were on the other end. Everything going in C9's favor against NRG throughout this entire tournament.
Yeah, just started out so well for NRG and things fell apart towards the end. A Graviton Surge comes in with a Blizzard. You see 2 kills, make it 3. It's just racking up in favor of C9. They're going to hunt down Numlock there towards the end. 61% and counting in favor of Cloud9. NRG needs to figure something out quick.
Shutout incoming. I'm feeling it, Matt. Cloud9 just on another level here. Small mistakes from NRG have cost them huge. But they will have 3 ults coming into this next fight. Enigma has to land the Graviton. He's got to get multiple players, but Cloud9, they're aware of this, starting to spread out across the top.
Now we'll see how NRG elects to attack this. You see a Mei wall coming in there from Surefour. He's actually going to catch 1 player off guard as Rib just darts down, but really good focus fire coming in from the side of Cloud9. It's a 5-man Graviton Surge though for NRG. They get nothing though on the follow-up. No kills come through. It's going to be Milo taking out Rolf. Kai uses that Diva ultimate, able to take out 1, but the point is just being held by Cloud9. They push Clockwork back. That should be all.
And that was a massive Mei wall coming in from Surefour. He stopped the Earth Shatter from Numlocked and sealed the deal. Cloud9 with a clean sweep over NRG, where they get a great hold on Gibraltar, and then winning all 3 rounds here on Nepal. They're going to send NRG home as they will advance to the semifinals.